What if the worst moments in life are actually the start of something deeper? We begin with a strange question. What if collapse isn't your enemy? What if it's the doorway to who you really are, where everything falling apart might actually be your path to peace? The world is loud. Everything feels uncertain. Systems are breaking down, people are burning out. But here's the twist. Maybe it's not just the world that's breaking. Maybe you are being invited to wake up. We'll show how ancient wisdom, from Zen to Stoicism, has always whispered this truth. Stillness doesn't come when life is perfect. It comes when everything is shaking, and you choose to stay still anyway. This is not about pretending everything's okay. It's about discovering something stronger than the storm. We grow up thinking we can control everything, our lives, our futures, even the world. But what if that's the biggest lie? In this section, we explore why things fall apart. Not just now, but always. Empires rise, then fall. Seasons change. Bodies age. Chaos isn't new. It's ancient. It's natural. We'll draw from old wisdom, like the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said everything flows, nothing stays the same. Taoist masters who taught that trying to hold on is what creates suffering. And even science, showing that systems always move toward disorder. Here's the truth. Life isn't broken. It's always been this way. The problem is, we were told it shouldn't be. There is a part of you that doesn't break. No matter what happens outside, this is where we reveal something powerful. The calm you're searching for is already inside you. It's not something you create. It's something you remember. We'll bring in timeless teachings from different traditions. In India, it's called the self. In Christianity, the kingdom within. In Sufi poetry, it's the friend. All of them point to one truth. Beneath your fear, beneath your thoughts, is a deep stillness. Imagine a storm. The wind rages, the trees bend, the sky shakes. But at the center of a hurricane, there's perfect stillness. That's you. We'll talk about how to find this space. Watching the breath. Sitting in silence. Asking, who is watching all of this? This is not about escaping life. It's about stepping deeper into it, without getting lost. The world might fall apart, but if you remember who you are, you don't have to. You are not the first to face chaos, and you won't be the last. This section tells the stories of those who found peace in the middle of destruction. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, wrote about calm while his empire crumbled. Rumi lost everything, his teacher, his home, and still gave us poetry that opens the heart. The Buddha walked away from wealth to sit under a tree and face suffering head-on. What did they know that we don't? They knew pain doesn't have to control you, loss doesn't have to define you, and fear doesn't have to become your master. These aren't just stories, they're proof. People have walked through fire and found light on the other side. And if they did it, so can you. So why do most people lose themselves in chaos? Here we break down what actually happens when fear takes over. The mind races, the body tenses, emotions spiral, and we react without thinking. We'll explain how fear hijacks the brain, how panic spreads like a virus, how media, noise, and even our own thoughts feed the fire. But here's the key. You are not your fear. There's something deeper watching all of it. And the moment you see that, you step out of the storm. Most people live on the surface. But you can go deeper, and that changes everything. You don't wait for calm, you build it. This section gives powerful but simple practices that bring you back to center, not just when things go wrong, but every day. We'll talk about sitting in silence, watching your breath, letting go of control, writing down what you feel, listening without reacting, being present with what is. These aren't escape tools. They're training for your soul. Think of calm like a muscle. You don't get it by hoping. You get it by practicing, especially when it's hard. And the more you do it, the more it becomes who you are. In this world, chaos is normal. But being calm, that's sacred. This is where everything turns. What if breakdown is really breakthrough? We explore the idea that when your old life falls apart, your real life begins. That when your identity, your beliefs, even your ego dies, something true wakes up. This is known in many traditions. In Christianity, it's called dying to be born again. In mysticism, it's the dark night of the soul. In alchemy, it's turning lead into gold. We'll use strong metaphors. The phoenix rising from fire, the seed breaking open in darkness. Pain can be your teacher, loss can be your guide, and falling apart can be your greatest initiation. This section shifts the viewer from fear to transformation. Here's where we make it personal again. When you stay calm, you don't just help yourself, you help everyone around you. We explain how energy spreads, how one calm person can bring peace to a room of fear, how your inner stillness becomes a quiet leadership. We'll bring in ideas from ancient cultures, like Ubuntu, where one person's peace lifts the whole tribe, or the Tibetan belief that meditating monks help the entire planet. Your calm is not small, it's powerful. We end with a deeper mystery. Calm is not the final goal, it's just the start. Because once you stop running from fear, once you stop clinging to peace, you meet something else. Truth. This is not the end. It's an invitation to stop fighting life, to stop fearing death, to wake up and walk through the fire without being burned. Imagine being in the middle of a massive storm, wind howling, trees snapping, everything falling apart. But right at the center of that storm is total silence. That calm center is called the eye of the storm. That's where we begin. We open with a powerful idea. Real peace isn't found when life is perfect. It's found when everything's breaking and you're still steady inside. Can you be the eye of the storm? We explore ancient ideas from Zen and Taoism that teach us one thing. The world outside may be out of your control, but the world inside is always yours. We'll talk about how we often try to fix or fight the chaos around us, but in doing so, we forget something deeper, that true power comes from stillness, not struggle. This is your first shift, from fighting the storm to becoming the quiet within it. Here's a hard truth. You were never in control to begin with. We've all been taught that we can manage life, avoid pain, and keep things stable, but life doesn't work that way. It never has. In this part, we dive into ancient wisdom, from Stoic philosophers to Buddhist monks, who saw chaos not as something bad, but as something natural. They taught that the key isn't to hold on tighter, it's to let go. We'll also look at modern psychology and how our brains confuse control with safety. But trying to control everything only makes us more anxious. So here's the shift. Letting go is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's actually the path to real strength. You'll walk away from this section seeing chaos differently, not as your enemy, but as part of life's deeper rhythm. This is the heart of the journey, the moment of deep realization. Right now you might feel like you are your fear, your stress, your racing thoughts, but you're not. You are the one watching those things. In this section, we explore the powerful idea of the witness, the quiet awareness behind your thoughts. We draw from ancient Indian philosophy, psychology, and even neuroscience to show how this awareness is always present. It's like being in a burning house, but realizing you're standing outside, watching it from a safe distance. That doesn't mean the fire isn't real, but it's not you. We'll hear real stories of people who found peace in the middle of trauma, not by escaping, but by waking up to the deeper part of themselves. This is a turning point in the script, because once you realize you are the observer, not the storm, everything changes. Calm isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover. In a world that never stops shouting, silence can feel uncomfortable, even scary, but this is where real calm begins. This section introduces the idea of the sacred pause, moments when we stop running, stop reacting, and just breathe. We explore how monks, mystics, and ancient cultures used silence as a tool for clarity, strength, and peace. From the desert hermits to Japanese tea rituals, they all knew stillness isn't empty. It's full of wisdom. We ask, what if silence isn't the absence of something, but the presence of everything you've been running from. We'll look at simple but powerful ways to build pause into your life, not as a habit, but as a way of being. Here comes the twist. What if all the chaos around you is actually a mirror, a reflection of the parts of yourself you haven't faced yet? This part explores a powerful idea found in both ancient teachings and modern psychology. The outer world often shows us what we need to heal inside. We talk about shadow work, emotional triggers, and the old hermetic truth, as within, so without. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about realizing that breakdowns can lead to breakthroughs. We'll explore how chaos brings up old wounds, fears, and stories you've carried for years. And how, if you're willing to look at them, calmly, gently, they can finally begin to heal. This is the moment when the storm stops being just a problem and starts becoming your teacher.